Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. It's a happy Saturday because we have a ton of stuff to talk about today. From Tales to Dragon Quest to Star Ocean to Final Fantasy X, a whole lot more, and the remake of the greatest RPG of all time. And I definitely do think this is worth the sub as you come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So our top story, woo frickin' who, is Tales of Eternia Remastered has been rated in Europe. Yeah. So for anybody out there who thinks, oh, this is just a rumor, no. Like, this is Peggy, this is a board, and they have to rate something. They don't rate rumors, they don't rate leaks, they rate games. A game was given to these people, they played the game, and then they rated the game. They didn't rate a rumor, they rated a game. So yeah, this one is going to be getting remastered. It says the rating was published on April 16th, according to the attached date. This came out in America as Tales of Destiny 2, and then there was also a PlayStation Portable version released in 2005, but only in Europe as well as Japan. Americans did not get that PSP version, unfortunately. I do hope that this will have the skits included this time, because the skits were axed in the original version that we got over here in the West. So hopefully they do it right. It would be nice. I was thinking that, that they were just kind of going the easy way. They were doing all the PS3 ones, the PS4 ones. They even went as far as doing Berseria, which really didn't need it, but they did it anyway. And I was like, ugh, they're never going to get to the 2D games. But hey, they proved me wrong. They're getting to these 2D games. They're getting to these older games. This is really exciting. I was also thinking that they were going to do remakes of these older games, but this one is... It literally is titled Tales of Eternia Remastered. That's literally the title that it has out, and it just says the Switch. Doesn't say the PS4, doesn't say PS5, doesn't say PC. It just says the Nintendo Switch. Also does not say Switch 2. So it looks like this is coming out for the Nintendo Switch, maybe some other ones. But as far as what we know for a fact, it is Nintendo Switch, and it is a remaster. Super duper exciting news. Let's move on, but first, a word from today's sponsor.
I've always had the hardest time falling asleep. I've taken pills to help me fall asleep, but even with those, I still lay in bed for hours, struggling to get to bed. Well, at least I did until today's sponsor, Plank Mattress, reached out to me last month. They told me to try out their mattress and talk about my experience with it, and I was desperate for a good night's sleep. So I, of course, said yeah, and I am so glad that I did, because now I'm able to fall asleep in 10 or 15 minutes or so, rather than the 2 hours that it used to take me on my old mattress. In just 1 month, this mattress has helped me out so much because I actually wake up feeling refreshed and not groggy. At first, I was a bit skeptical about the super firm mattress, but I am definitely a believer now. Also, it's even endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association because it really does help with your back, and it also improves your posture. And I don't know about y'all, but I am always kind of hunched over. I think it's all the gaming that I do, but this mattress has really helped me out with that. You can even flip it to go from firm to ultra firm, depending on your comfort level. That's completely up to you. And it's not going to be breaking the bank either, because it has free shipping in the United States, and it won't break the bank either because it has free shipping in the United States, and you can even use your health savings or flexible spending accounts to purchase the mattress too. So if you want to try it out for yourself, visit plankmattress.com/Davidvinc to get 30% off your order with the code Davidvinc. And you can even support the channel by telling them that I sent you in the post-purchase survey. And they also offer a 120-night sleep trial as well as an unlimited lifetime warranty. So you really do have nothing to lose by trying it out for yourself, because it's definitely improved my sleep quality as well as Hoopo's sleep quality. You can see she's pretty much fallen asleep just in the course of this advertisement. So yeah, she's one tired little tiny pup. So be sure to give it a shot. And now let's go on back to today's video.
Also, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of Elusive Age has been rated for the Switch 2 in Taiwan. Again, they have to have a game in order to rate these things. This isn't rating a rumor. I get so many comments. This is just a rumor. Oh, take this with a grain of salt. You don't know what you're talking about. What exactly are they rating? Like, what are they rating if they're not rating a game? They're rating a game. They're not rating a rumor, people. It doesn't work that way. These are companies. They don't rate rumors. They rate games that are put in front of them so they can rate them. Like, come on! Use your head, people. So this is coming out for the Switch 2 in Taiwan. We know that that Dragon Quest Day is coming up in roughly a month, and we also know that it's 40th anniversary of Dragon Quest, so it's going to be a big one. And it looks like this is probably going to be one of the announcements from Dragon Quest Day. They might put it into a Nintendo Direct before that. We don't really know, but hey, it's more Dragon Quest. Super, super, super exciting right here. I've already played the original version back on the PlayStation 4. Then I played the S version that, added more content. And then I also played it through in 2D. So I've played through this game 3 times now. Do I really want to play it through a 4th time? No, not particularly. But if they do add more content, will I play through it a 4th time? Yeah. I'm a sucker for new content, so this is actually pretty exciting for me. We just don't know anything else about it. All we know is that it is coming. I'm probably going to screw this up because I was never really good at math in general, but I feel like there's some sort of like inverse relationship between how big a company is, how much that company is worth, if it's worth millions or billions of dollars, versus what they offer you in a collector's edition. It's like, if you're worth billions of dollars, we're going to charge a ton of money for the collector's edition, but what are we going to offer you? Not a whole hell of a lot. Okay, so if we're only worth like a couple $1 million, we're going to put a great stuff in the collector's edition, and we're going to price it really well. Yeah, it really does seem to be the case. I've noticed this trend over and over again, and it's really kind of pissing me off. But anyway, let's focus on the good news. Cold is up the first Saturn tribute for the PS5 and Switch standard, as well as collector's edition, are for pre-order on Video Games Plus. The collector's edition is Video Games Plus exclusive. Standard $36. The collector's edition $80 right here. So yeah, you get all this stuff. Oh, well, that's just lovely. You get all, there we go, perfect. Okay, you get all this stuff for $80 with this collector's edition right here. You get the little slip box, you get the game, you get a reversible cover, you get an art book, you get 10 art cards, you get 9 acrylic standees, and you get a 2 CD soundtrack for $80 right there. Even with the standard edition, you still get the game, you get the reversible cover, and you get a booklet. I will have links below for all of this. A website has been launched for Final Fantasy X's 25th anniversary. They're celebrating 25 years on July the 19th of this year. It says the company also announced various merchandise in commemoration of the milestone, including plush toys of Tidus, Yuna, and the other characters, a new vinyl set, and an art book. We don't know anything else that they're going to be doing for this anniversary. It'd be nice if we got something. I feel like a remaster, I don't care about. I don't give a fig about a remaster. We've seen this game, we've seen it remastered, we've seen the sequel remastered, been there, done that, I'm good. What I would love to see would either be a Final Fantasy X-3, that would be, yet another sequel. They have this script apparently already written, or it was, or, whatever. I've heard tell of that. Or what I would really like would be a Final Fantasy X-3, but it's a prequel. A prequel following the first pilgrimage, Braska's pilgrimage, Yuna's father's pilgrimage. That would be really freaking cool. Maybe do some sort of, dress sphere thing with Braska and his 2 guardians and all that kind of stuff. Like, that would be kind of cool. I would really enjoy that. See how Spira was, before all that kind of stuff. I think that would be really freaking neat. But again, that is pipe dreams. That is wishful thinking, because we all know that ain't going to be happening. But hey, a boy can dream, can he? I swear, this is like the longest cold I've ever had in my entire life. I kind of don't even think it's a cold at this point, because I feel perfectly fine. Feel perfectly fine. My throat is really scratchy, so I think that it's allergies. But like, I've been taking Claritin for 3 months straight now, and it's just like nothing's happening. Like I don't get it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo for the Xbox Series Switch 2 is now available. Save data from the demo can be carried over to the full game. You can experience the beginning of the game through the end of Chapter 2, A New Journey Begins, for free. If you choose not to proceed over to the Mithril Mine, you may return to previous areas and continue exploring. Carry over your demo progress to the full version of the game. If you've saved data from the demo, you can claim a Kupo Charm and Survival Set containing helpful items whenever you do purchase the full game. That's like a really meaty, big demo, especially if you do everything there, because this is everything from Midgar over to Calm Village, going through, getting the Chocobo, crossing, the little swamp, the Midgar Zolom, all that kind of stuff. So this is a lot. This is a huge freaking area. So you can really get to know what the game is like, and say what you will about this remake. I had a lot of fun with Rebirth. I didn't really like Remake that much. I felt like it was bloated with a lot of like fetch quests and stuff, and they took a 5-hour portion of the game and they bloated it to 40 hours. But Rebirth was pretty freaking cool, pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. I mean, I still do wish it was turn-based, but hey, whatever. You gotta give and you gotta take. Uchiwara Mono Past and Present Rediscover details more characters, battles, and town systems. This is my issue. Okay, I loved Monochrome Mobius. Loved it. I thought it was one of the best games I have ever played. I thought it was fan-freaking-tastic. This is the sequel to Monochrome Mobius, by the way. But one thing that like really bothered me about it, it's like they didn't localize it. If like they translated it, but they didn't localize it, because I can't pronounce anything in this game. It is so bad. So, meet Amasuki, Chikokowa, Shantura Varga, and Neref Fala. And like the whole game is like this. Every single thing of terminology and everything, it's all in these like weirdo Japanese names that I just can't do. So we have new characters, battle, and town-related systems. This game, or the original game, was so good, and this looks like it's more of the same, which is really exciting to me. So it says, what is her? She's Amasuki. Captain of ship of smugglers, her crewman address her as mistress as a sign of affection and respect. Then we have Chikakora. These two weren't in the original game. A young woman from Arva Shulan. She seems to have some connection to Shunya. So basically there's these two worlds, and they're separated by this, essentially like a gag harv, like this massive cleft between the worlds. And Arva Shulan is like this lost world, this almost like prehistoric world that people can't really go into, like humans can't really survive in there. They need like these special trees in order to survive in there. This is Shantura, who is the leader of Arva Shulan, and she's trying to, better her people and help them out right there. And then this is Varga. He's a warrior from Arva Shulan as well, working for Shantura. There's Narak Fala. He was like a main villain in the first game right here. So yeah, have the battle system. This has like a Grandia sort of battle system. It's really cool. There's these 3 rings. You can see the rings right there. There's these 3 rings, and your characters like go about the rings, but the inner rings are smaller than the outer rings, and you can kind of like jump into the inner rings so that your turn comes around faster. This uses MP, so it's not like skill cooldown or anything else like that. Each character has their own particular job class. Soul stones are used by Shunya, and that's used to like power up her magic. She can use like regular magical spells, but if you want like level 2 or level 3 spells, you have to summon a soul stone. But sometimes you can use Haru in order to, have the soul stones kind of already there. And then at the end, I shouldn't spoil anything. Ashtor and Mikazuki, who are basically your warriors, they're able to tap into these special masks in order to transform and unleash new skills, which is cool because this is like a direct continuation from the original game. Like they got these masks in the original game, and I thought, oh, there's no way they're probably going to take away these masks somehow, but they still have these masks right there. There's quests, side quests that you can do. There's buffing, equipment, crafting, things like that. So yeah, it's really such a fun game. This is coming out for the PS5 and Switch 2, as well as Steam. I see. PS5, Switch 2 in Japan, PC only in the West on May the 28th. Dark fantasy roguelike deck builder Rogue Reigns, announced for the PS5, Xbox, Switch, PC, iOS, and Android, due out in September. It says, in most deck builders, you control one character and one deck. In Rogue Reigns, 3 characters fight together, and the way they interact is the game. Your party composition is your build. I guess kind of like in Batten Kaitos, you had multiple party members, multiple decks, all that kind of stuff, so yeah. Rogue Reigns is a dark fantasy roguelike deck builder featuring hand-drawn characters set against procedurally generated 3D environments, a rarity within the deck building genre, and an innovative party-based combat system. At its core, this reimagines traditional deck building by shifting the focus from a single character to a party of 3 heroes, each with their own deck, abilities, and turn order. The interplay between the characters is where the game truly comes alive. After every encounter, the party faces a choice. Your rewards are limited. One hero gets stronger, but the others don't. Over the course of a run, these small decisions accumulate, and the hero that you've been feeding grows powerful, while the other ones that you've neglected fall behind. But when the stalker catches up, someone falls. So yeah, kind of interesting right here. It looks like they're being chased around, and if you don't build up your characters properly, the weakest is going to die to some sort of like serial killer or something. Kyoto Xanadu details more characters, action cards, support cards, and ether. Meet Tatsumiya Dogi. Oh, Dogi. Suzanne, Suo, Momiji, and Milvi. Okay, so all I really care about is Dogi. Wow, God, he's so hot. He's hot in everything that he does. So this guy looks like he's just like over it. Like, what is with the socks and the sandals? What is happening right here? Like, you're dressed up. You have a freaking tie on, a vest and a tie, but you're wearing socks and sandals. Like, ugh, get with it. Like, what are you doing? Oh, hello, Dogi. Hello. A large, burly physical education instructor. Despite his bold and carefree personality, he's cheerful and attentive, making a reliable adult admired by the students. Yes. Although Dogi himself is not a chosen, he possesses immense physical strength befitting his appearance, so much so that he can supposedly smash a solid wall to pieces with a single punch. Yeah, he's Dogi the Wall Crusher. Yeah, that's him. Awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I love to see, like, Falcom doing these weirdo little crossovers and everything. Like, you see it here in Tokyo Xanadu, and you saw it in the first one and all that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of interesting right there. She looks like a little reporter. Oh, she even has like her little reporter notepad right there. We got this guy right here. I don't know where he thinks he's going. Everybody's in like these, everybody's like this academy. He's a young man who graduated from this academy, but he's like bringing his luggage with him. Like, where's he going? Like, I don't know, just kind of odd right there. Looks like this girl is still in school. Oh no, she's a staff member, although she looks like she's still in school. Like, she's still wearing a school uniform. So interesting that she's a staff member. And then this little chick right here. Oh, I like the high heels. Good for you. She's a half Nordic woman who lives alone in Kyoto. She works as a model and is often seen strolling around the city in stylish outfits. Okay. I wouldn't call that stylish. It looks really casual to me, except for the high heels and little capri pants or whatever. But like, yeah, okay, whatever. I wouldn't call that little beanie cap stylish either, but whatever. So now that I'm done critiquing everybody's outfits, like that's what you tune into the news for, my outfit critiques and my fashion advice. Don't talk about the game, David. Talk about their outfits. Yeah. By taking classes at the Academy, Hirasaka Academy, I can actually pronounce that, you can enhance your spiritual powers of wisdom, virtue, and valor, which are used to strengthen your soul devices. On the class preparation screen, choose which action cards and support cards to use, start the class, and then you earn your wisdom, valor, and valor points based upon the class results. So you basically get this like little deck of cards. You can choose which cards you want to use, and then you play a little card game or whatever, and then you gain some stat points and all of that in regards to doing that. Let's see when this thing's out. This is coming out for the PS5, Switch, Switch 2, and PC on July the 16th in Japan and Asia, but a Western release is also planned, but we don't have any information on that Western release quite yet. The Alchemist of Ars Magna coming to the PS5, PS4 on September the 17th. It's currently already available on the Switch as well as the PC. It will be in English as well as various other languages. This came out on the PC in 2023, Switch in 2024. The main character enters a school and gets experience in research, study, and love. This is the adventure story of an alchemist who grows through encounters and experiences and paves the way. It says, oblivion is a natural disaster which is set to destroy the world. The protagonist enters the Cagliostro Academy to learn and master the art of combat. And in a school where many alchemists gather, the protagonist of the story accumulates experience through research, study, and love. This is a story of an alchemist who carves their own path, blah, blah, blah. The world is controlled by a number of man-made gods. However, the dust, an entity that calls for destruction, not only turns everything in its path into dust, but also contaminates the gods, turning them heinous. With this, alchemists are forced to deal with former gods that have now been turned into guiding forces of misfortune. Co-op roguelike action RPG Above Land Rhapsody announced for the PC. This is a 3-player cooperative roguelike action RPG for Steam. Release date has not yet been announced. Play, build, mayhem, repeat. A single-player or 1 to 3-player cooperative, blah, blah, blah. With wield outrageous weapons, crafts, wild builds, and dive into chaotic runs where no two adventures are ever the same. Grab your friends, pick up a weapon that probably shouldn't exist, and dive into the chaotic runs where builds spiral in unexpected directions, and every fight turns into glorious mayhem. Between the timelines of yesterday and today, a mysterious damnation hangs over the sky, and you, together with your dangerously cute companion Wobo, may be the only ones capable of breaking the cycle. Neoclassic digital gamebook RPG Veritas Tales, Witch of the Dark Castle, has been announced for the PC due out sometime this year. It is a choose-your-own adventure digital gamebook RPG, coming out in English, Japanese, simplified Chinese language support. It says that it reimagines the charm of classical game books for the modern age. Experience the nostalgic feel of scribbling stats with a pencil, rolling dice to decide your fate, and flipping pages by hand. The authentic fantasy that you crave is right here. So yeah, I used to read these choose your own adventure books all the time. We had like silent reading stuff in class and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the times I would go to the back of the room and like look what they had. And they had like these boring Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys books, and I was like, ugh, God. But then I see some choose your own adventure books. I'm like, yeah, that's more my speed. And I would read those things all the time. I loved them. It's another Cry game. Let's hope that they don't have pink eye this time. Oh my God. So whenever I reviewed Cry Machina, the entire time I was like, I can't even look at it. I can't even look. It was so gross. It was so gross. It was so gross. Like it just looked like they had like pustules coming down out of their eyeballs. It was so gross. It was so freaking gross. I couldn't even take it. So I see here in the trailer that she's still crying, but it doesn't look like disgusting, infected green pustules coming down. So I guess I could maybe take it. I don't know what the deal is with their obsession with little girls crying, but hey, whatever. So anyway, this is a roguelike action game for the PS5, Switch 2, and PC coming out on November the 5th. Says the playtime is 20 to 30 hours. In commemoration of this announcement, Cry Star, but not Cry Machina, is available at a discount price of $2 for the PC or $4 for the PS4 and PS5. If you want to order Crimelite digitally via the PlayStation Store, it has a 20% off discount, and it's only $20 for the standard edition if you just want the game. There is a deluxe edition of the game, which looks like it's I can't talk. My voice is screwed up. I can't talk today. I'm spitting over things. There is a digital deluxe edition, double the price. So you're paying double for some crappy DLC. But anyway, that one's $40. Okay, let's see. Latest addition into Furyu's dark Bishujo action role-playing game series, which follows a cast of young female heroines navigating dark fantasy worlds, battling lost souls while shedding tears. Crimelite explores themes of confessing and confronting sins, regrets, and emotional growth as Alice repeatedly descends through the layers of purgatory in order to regain her memories and achieve rebirth. Alice must set forth from Tea Party Hall, defeat enemies born from the depths of madness, and confess and confront the sins that she has committed, undergoing immense emotional growth in the process. There's a lot going on here. I read all this stuff. One thing that I did pick up from this, like it's kind of an allegory of Alice in Wonderland. Like it says that she was summoned to Wonderland. It talks about the Tea Party. I saw something in here about the Queen of Hearts as well, the White Rabbit. So this is very much Alice in Wonderland, game and girls crying pustules out of their eyeballs or whatever. Great game. Hike Northern Lights: A Witch's Chill Time update has been announced, due out on April the 30th. I reviewed this game, and it reminded me a lot of something like Illusion of Gaia. It's like you're this witch traveling through the world through real world locations, but like other witches join you, so you can like switch to different playstyles and stuff or whatever. So you don't have to just be like one character. Like you don't have to be like Will the entire time. You could be Frieden, or you could be Shadow, but in witch form or whatever. Anyway, this was a great game, and it looks like we're getting an update. Let's see, PS5, Switch, PC, followed by Apple Arcade later in 2026. A Witch's Chill Time takes place after the resolution of the main campaign, with the days of fierce battle finally behind them. A period of tranquility settled in until one day, guided with an invitation from Aurora, Hike and the group stepped into a mysterious realm. What greeted their eyes was none other than a hot spring. However, it turned out that during the process of creating this space, Aurora had misplaced the very items needed to fully enjoy the hot spring experience. To recover these lost items, Haiku and the others set out to explore the depths of the mysterious realm. And so, a new adventure begins, one dedicated to bringing Hike and the group's ideal hot spring to perfection. What do you need to enjoy a hot spring? Put on a swimsuit and jump in. Give me a break. The stories that these people come up with, I swear. Village building action RPG Warota, I live next to the Demon King's castle, LOL, has been announced for the PS5, Switch 2, and PC. Yeah, let's laugh about that. LOL. Okay, it's so PC this winter, PS5, Switch 2 in 2027. Saved by a goddess, you arrived in a ruined world ruled by the Demon King. You gather resources, build your village, swap hats to change classes, and give villagers their roles. But one night, the idle Demon King holds a live next door, and monsters come pouring in? He holds a live... What? I have no idea. Got reincarnated. Turns out my new place is right next door to the Demon King's castle. LOL! Your soul is rescued by a goddess. You're whisked away to Luna, a ruined world where the Demon King has seized the gates and left everyone with nothing but scraps. As a bounder, a rare being gifted with the powers of creation, it falls to you to rebuild what was lost. LOL! Stardust Wish of Witch launches on May the 28th. A lot of stuff is happening on May the 28th. Like, man, that's right around Dragon Quest Day. That's whenever Uchiwara Mono comes out. My most anticipated game of the year. Yay! So these other games that look like mobile games, trash, honey, trash. Because Uchiwara Mono's coming out. Y'all know what I'm excited about. A turn-based single-player pixel strategy RPG has been dated. PC via Steam. Let's see. It reimagines the charm of classic strategy RPGs for the modern era. Players traverse battlefields and adventures centered on stars and fate, growing alongside characters with distinct personalities and stories. A delicately breathing pixel world combined with dramatic presentation delivers a sweeping fantasy journey. The secrets bound to the stars, the journey of a boy and a girl. The story of growth along the way. The tomboyish warrior Star and her childhood friend Mage Yu set out on an adventure. What awaits them at the end of the road? I don't know, because I'm going to be playing Uchiwara Mono instead. Yes, super exciting. The official Japanese accounts of Star Ocean and Square Enix have published a survey for the 30th anniversary of Star Ocean. 30 years of Star Ocean. They're actually asking us questions about it, but apparently only the Japanese audience, because that's all they care about. Among the questions are references to possible new remakes. So they're saying, hey, what game would you like remade? Also, questions about the next main installments of Star Ocean 7. To even a possible revision of Star Ocean Emenesis, which is the mobile game that came out for the 20th anniversary. So we know that Square, along with other companies, are doing like these, they're taking the mobile games and they're turning them into console games. So maybe that's what they might do. Maybe update it so that it's not just like a 20th thing and they can add in new characters from Star Ocean 5 and Star Ocean 6 and things like that to kind of, make it a 30th anniversary sort of thing, and maybe bring that to console, since I never got to play it. I never played it. But also, wouldn't be amazing if we got a remake of Star Ocean 3? And whenever I say remake, I mean remake, not remaster, because I want that ending remade. And wouldn't it be great if we got to see a high-budget Star Ocean 7? Really put time and effort and money into it, because we got a new CEO. Whenever Star Ocean 6 came out, and also during the development of Star Ocean 5, they were still doing like shit games. They were like, we'll just throw, maybe $1 million at this. Okay, boom, done. You get what you get. You get a low budget game, whatever. And that's all you get, because they were trying to put out as many games as humanly possible and just thinking, oh, those stupid consumers, they'll just buy it. Who cares? Who cares about the crap that we put out? Who cares about the quality? But now we've got a new CEO, and he is saying we want quality over quantity. And Star Ocean 6 came out at a time whenever it was like the worst of the worst. It was the end of 2022, whenever a billion games came out by Square Enix. It was like every single week, from like September all the way through December, every single week there was a new game by Square Enix. It was ridiculous. And Star Ocean 6 was one of the victims of that, because nobody could keep up. I couldn't even keep up. I play these games for a living. I couldn't even keep up. And so now they're asking about this. They're putting time and effort into it. They're talking about it, and maybe we'll actually get to see a really good, nice, high-budget Star Ocean game. That would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for putting up with my voice and my stupid jokes. I always have a fun time putting this stuff together. But now I want to hear from y'all. What do you think about all this news? Let me know in the comments. And as always, have a good day.